Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Odyssey Recaps, just the T edition. Today we're recapping chapter 18. Now, just a quick reminder that Odysseus is magically disguised as a beggar that I'm calling Fodicius, so he can infiltrate his own palace and get the dirt on everyone to better figure out exactly how many people he needs to murder and the best way to do said murders. So, chapter 18 opens with a new contestant entering the villa. This one is another beggar, but one who is notorious for greed and who is weak and bad at fighting and basically just a foil for how great Odysseus is. His name is Iris, and as soon as he rocks up to Odysseus' palace and sees Odysseus in his beggar disguise, he's like, "Oh, hell no, this is my swamp," and he starts cursing and threatening Odysseus, demanding that he leaves his turf. Odysseus is like, bro, there's clearly enough cast sauce for both of us. What's the issue? But before you go thinking that Odysseus is doing this out of like peace, love, and understanding, hold that thought because he immediately follows up with, "Don't piss me off because," and I'm just gonna quote this next bit directly because damn, he says, "I will crack your ribs and smash your face to a bloody pulp, and I will have a day of peace tomorrow. You will not return here to the palace of Odysseus." Like, all right, psycho. I mean, I get that the guy is rude and threatening, but like, wow, that's a lot. Now, this would have made me turn right around and head for the door because, unlike my orange juice, I like my face pulp free, and my mom always said never fight someone crazier than you. But clearly, Iris didn't have a mom as cool as I do because bro just doubles down. He is like, "Now I'm gonna fight you harder. Also, you're ugly. Gather round, everyone, and watch me beat this old man." Which absolutely is not the flex he thinks it is, but he does know his audience because the suitors are just like thrilled at the prospect of watching two beggars fight each other for like food and basic resources. So, like the douchey dude bros they are, the suitors set up a ring for a fight between two people desperate for basic needs like food and shelter. Lovely. The alpha douche of the Dude Bros, Antoninus, says that whoever wins gets a special dinner of a goat stomach stuffed with fat and blood and then gently roasted over an open fire, which apparently is a good thing and is like the equivalent of a nice juicy steak or some really good like mapo tofu or something because everyone's like excited for it. And then Antoninus also says that the Dude Bros will all kick out whichever beggar loses and vote them all the way off the island. So all the suitors gather around, but before the fight starts, Odysseus is like, "Wait, I'm not gonna fight anyone unless you dude bros promise not to interfere if I start winning." And Telemachus, who, just to remind you, knows that Odysseus is really his papa Odysseus, but has sworn not to interfere in his plots, he's all like, "Don't worry, total stranger who I have never met before. I won't let anyone else hop into the ring. Everyone will respect the rules of the dojo." All the dude bros agree and swear like not to interfere. And then Odysseus is like, "Oh yeah, it's on, bro." And then he strips off. He just like rips off all of his ragged clothes. And he reveals that underneath these rags, he is absolutely jacked as hell. Like he is beyond swole. The poem explicitly mentions his massive thighs and mighty shoulders, enormous chest, and sturdy arms. Then Athena comes in and just like to make it all of this worse, she invisibly sprinkles some fairy dust on him to make him appear like even stronger and also physically make him super strong. Everyone is shocked at this reveal, and the new beggar bro is like, "I made a mistake." But they all strip him down and push him into the ring anyway. Bro is shaking in fear. The alpha douche dude bro Antoninus starts mocking Iris and tells him that if he doesn't beat Odysseus, that he's going to send him off to the Lord of Cruelty, who seems to be the inspiration for Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones, because Antoninus is like, says that this dude, the Lord of Cruelty, will cut off the loser's nose, ears, and genitals and feed them to his dogs, which is not only gross, but also not the best thing for the dogs. You shouldn't feed that to dogs. There's a lot of bacteria in the genitals. Like, no, give them real food. Anyway, this absolutely does not help with Iris's fears, but the fight begins, and new beggar bro throws a single punch at Odysseus' shoulder, and Odysseus just turns around and just like breaks his jaw and knocks him out in a single punch. Like bro went down, gushing blood, legs flailing, some light moaning, the whole shebang. Odysseus is not done though. He grabs this guy by the foot, drags him out to the gates, props him up like a little rag doll against the wall, and is like, "Next time, don't bully people." Then he goes back inside and just like starts eating his goat stomach prize. One of the Dubro suitors is like, "Hey, that was amazing. Respect, bro. I hope the gods grant you everything you want." And Odysseus is like, "Bro, low key, you should leave now. The gods are watching and they punish people for bad behavior, and you guys are definitely doing bad behavior. Odysseus could come home at like any moment and he will slice and dice all of you. He is super scary, but like also super sexy. You should run now while you have the chance." The dude bro thinks about it and is like, maybe I should leave. But Athena is like, not so fast. I condemned you to death and you're going to stay here and die with the rest of them. And just to make sure that none of the Dubro suitors start getting any big ideas about leaving before she can help Odysseus murder them, Athena decides that they need a little reminder of what they're fighting for. So she heads upstairs and makes Penelope decide to come down and show everyone just what a smoke show she really is. Now, Penelope is depressed as hell. She's like, ugh, why won't the gods just kill me? I miss my hot husband so, so much. Ugh, well, guess I better go downstairs and be hot publicly for a bit. And just to make sure she really sells it, Athena dusts Penelope with some like Riz powder and makes her even hotter. Like she is officially reaching like molten core of the earth levels of hotness. She needs to come with a warning at this point. Anyway, Penelope rounds up some of her slave girls to escort her, and they head downstairs to see the Dubros. The Dubros are like shook when they see her. They literally go weak at the knees and are bewitched. And the book says they longed to lie with her, which is an old-timey way of saying the whole club was indeed looking at her. So she turns to the only man not salivating over her son Telemachus, and she's like, why did you let these gross dude bros make those poor beggars fight? That wasn't very live, laugh, love of you. And Telemachus is like, Saw's mom, you're right. And in my heart, I am definitely still committed to the live, laugh, love lifestyle, but I'm hecking outnumbered right now. And also, it didn't even go. The fight didn't even go the way the losers wanted. Like, their champion lost bad and quick. It was embarrassing. One of the dude bros manages to retrieve his jaw from the ground at this point, and he says to Penelope something along the lines of like, hey, pretty lady, you're looking fine as hell tonight. No one on earth is as fine as you, baby girl. And Penelope is like, okay then. Now listen up, losers. The gods clearly hate me because they took my beloved husband away from me. But said husband told me something before he left. He held my hands and was like, baby, I love you so much, and I'm an amazing fighter, and I will fight to get back to you and our sad baby boy. But this is war, and people do die, and I need you to look after everyone. I need you to promise me that if I don't come back by the time our son grows a beard, that you'll marry someone else, anyone you want, and go live with them, okay? That's what he told me, Penelope, and I hate it, and it's super sucky, but sadly, the time has come that I have to obey his final request. I will pick one of you to marry, but you losers aren't following any of the rules of courtship. You're supposed to be giving me gifts, not eating me out of house and home. So fix that, and then maybe I'll choose the least scrub-like one of you to chain myself to in marriage. I will hate it and you, though, just so we're all clear. That's what she said, basically. Now, you might think that Odysseus is sitting there in his beggar disguise, like super upset, being like, no, don't remarry, I'm so close. But our boy is thrilled. He is like, OMG, my wife is so freaking smart. She's going to get them to hand over a bunch of treasure to pay back what they stole so that now, when I kill them, it won't even be at a loss. How did I get so lucky? This woman is the actual bomb.com. And like, I do really love that all the other gross dude bros are just focused on how much they want to bang her, and her husband is like, my baby is smart. You gotta love them. They're a really nice couple. Except for all the sex island interludes. But anyway, we'll just ignore that. The dude bros manage to put their tongues back in their mouths, and they order their slaves to run off and fetch the gifts for Penelope, which why didn't they start with that? How are we 4 years in and only now breaking out the jewelry? Like, do you really think you guys have nowhere else to be? Like, is this it? Are they just enjoying this? Is this just like a 4-year vacation for them? Anyway, they give her the gifts, and Alpha Douche Dubra and Taeneas is like, we're still not leaving until you pick one of us. And Penelope is like, whatever, and takes the gifts and disappears upstairs again, hopefully locking several doors behind her. The Dubros go back to partying, and the slave girls are like lighting all the braziers so they can clearly see each other's douchey faces, when Odysseus is like, says to the slave girls, hey, Penelope looked pretty sad. Why don't you guys head upstairs to check on her and make sure she's okay? I'll light the rest of the braziers for these douches. But one of the slave girls is sleeping with one of the dude bros, and she starts making fun of Odysseus and is like, you better watch out or these strong dude bros will punch your face in and kick you out covered in your own blood, which normally would be super rude. But once you enslave someone, you lose all rights to their loyalty or respect. So like, go off, queen. Anyway, Odysseus doesn't see it this way, and he insults her right back and says he's going to tell Telemachus to like slice and dice her into like slave girl mincemeat. And the rest of the slave girls are like, yeah, no thank you, we're going to leave now. And so they all head upstairs to comfort Penelope. And Odysseus goes around lighting the braziers and plotting revenge. Now, Athena doesn't think she's done quite enough meddling, and she also thinks that maybe Odysseus needs just a little more incentive to go full psycho and leave no Dubra left alive. So Athena makes the suitors go back to making fun of him, and they're all like, lol, you're bald and also probably lazy, although you're also ripped, but you know. Odysseus is like, no, you. Also, you think you're all big men, but when Odysseus comes home, he's gonna murder every last one of you, and there will be no escape. The dude bros are pissed, and one of them throws a footstool at Odysseus, but it hits a slave boy instead, and he's actually like super injured. So Telemachus stands up and is like, that's enough. You've crossed a line. It's time for everyone to go to bed now. The dude bros are shocked and a little impressed with his newfound confidence, and one of them is like, yeah, it is getting late. Let's pour one out for the gods and just head to bed. So they all do one last round of shots for the gods and then they leave. And that is where the chapter ends. Join us next time to see what happens next. Spoiler alert, it's a reunion episode. Kind of. I'll see you there.